views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Everyone, welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. But before we get to those callers, welcome everyone to Angel Healing House Radio. I'd like to start the show this morning by singing you a little song. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Claire Candy. Happy birthday to me. Never ceases to amaze me that every time I hear someone say, "Oh, I'd rather forget my birthday," or "I never make a fuss about my birthday," as it just draws attention to my age. I guess if one chooses a limiting view to see their age as any sort of determinant as to what they can do, what they can be, and certainly what they can have, then I guess I can see why many people dread their birthdays. You know, if one has been programmed to believe that with advancing of their age, they will not be able to live their dreams, then this energetic limitation and lack of faith will have a self-fulfilling prophecy. For instance, maybe people hate their birthdays because with advancing age, they expect to physically deteriorate and get so ill that their dreams have an expiration date which can only be experienced when they are young. Now, this truly astounds me, as I have never, ever equated the celebrating of my birthday with age at all. I choose to celebrate and get very excited about my divine essence, my divine existence. And my celebrations are not just relegated to my physical birth. For you see, I'm celebrating the God essence of my eternal and external existence, and how unique and special an energy that I am. And this does not make me superior, as this applies to each and every one of us, as we are divine and eternal. You know, having died twice with my 2 near-death experiences, and having had a walk-in experience 15 years ago, I've had the good fortune to experience what it's like when we shed this, I call it a funny little meat suit, or this physical human suit of ours, and we return to our true essence and spirit. In fact, my channeled novel, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, shares with the reader a very detailed picture of what happens across the veil and what we do on the other side. You know, when we cross over, we're not automatically given a halo and a harp to just float around on clouds. I can tell you that. What we do is very, very different. In fact, did you know that when we physically cross over, even though we shed this physical form, that out of the billions and the trillions of souls in heaven, our souls can very easily be recognized for who we are, because our energetic frequency is so singular and so distinctive that we hold. You know, there might be similar frequencies held by others, but there is no other matching frequency to ours in quite our way in any space, time, and dimension that holds our exact energetic signature. We are like snowflakes, and no two of us are exactly the same. And it is that singular energy that is me, which I am celebrating. And even though every one of us has this extraordinary, unique, divine, energetic essence, it is what we do with it that determines whether we're going to be happy and joy-filled, excited and passionate when our birthday comes around, or whether we choose to put our focus on things that maybe we haven't done yet, on what we don't have, or what we regret and what we are resentful about. Either way, it's our perception and attitude that will determine what we experience on our birthday. And because birthdays have always been an absolutely wonderful opportunity to look back over the previous year, to see what's happened and what lessons we've learned, or what lessons we haven't learned. Let's take a peek back at Claire Candy Hough's past year. You know, this past year was huge for me as I finally let go and I surrendered my overly analytic, logical, rationalizing, Libran brain. And I chose to break the stranglehold of my limited mind, which was always trying to figure life out. In this way, I let go of restrictions, worrying what was going to happen in the future, and I surrendered to the grace of God and the angels, allowing them to show me how to best co-create and dance with life. Now, in this way, I have become so good at hearing the music from God and the angels to help me follow the amazing beat of the universe, as it always knows what's best for me, and it'll always show me the direction and the divine timing in which to step forward. And so many wonderful things happened this past year because of surrendering and trying to figure life out and just going with God's flow. For instance, 1 year ago, I found myself in a beautiful recording studio at DEYN Audio Services in Northridge, California, voicing the narrator's part and myself, Angel Ariel, for the audiobook of my #1 Amazon international bestseller, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. The thrill of hearing my 9+ hour book read aloud by myself and the professional voiceover actors that we employed as they provided the voices for the other 36 characters in the book, that was exhilarating, and I simply adored the creative process that my husband Pete and I shared as we produced this beautiful work. And we experienced my written words taking wings and flight to be accessible to many in audiobook form. Another thing that happened this past year saw a turn of events that opened up and made available a large block of time for me to bring forth another book. Pete and I had scheduled a trip to return to Australia to see family and friends, yet the universe had other plans for us. My travel visa never arrived in time, and we had to cancel our flights. In the days immediately following the cancellation of the tickets, well, the Posse of Angels very bluntly reminded me of a children's story that I began to write way back in 2010 when Pete and I lived in Santa Barbara. Having had my schedule completely clear for our now canceled trip, I opened the Word doc and the Posse of Angels then took over, and we wrote pretty steadily for 2 weeks. 10,000 words later, a beautiful story had been created, and we're now bringing to life the next adventure for the characters in this new children's story that I just wrote. And as I am now on the precipice of my birthday, in only 5 days' time on October 7th, I've tried to get the Posse of Angels to show me where all this is leading. But they just smile and they play very coy and they say, oh, well, you just go on and do what you normally do, because the opportunities and the connections to be of joyful service to yourself and to the world will just keep rolling in the most miraculous of ways. And all I have to do is let go and allow myself to be led by God and the angels. It does sound simple, but until I made the conscious choice to live the quotation that I created, which is let go of the steering wheel of life so that God and the angels can drive you around to all your miracles. Until I did that, my GPS had seen me spinning my wheels and basically going in wrong directions. In celebration of the amazement and the wonder of the celebration of who we are, I'd like to read aloud a poem by an extraordinary writer whose books contain such wise spiritual wisdom, and many adults are not familiar with this spiritual sage, as his wisdom is hidden in the form of a children's book. It's from a book called Happy Birthday to You, and it's by Dr. Zeus. And it goes like this. Today, you are you. That's truer than true. There's no one alive who's more youer than you. If we didn't have birthdays, well, you wouldn't be you. You'd never been born. Well, then what would you do? If you never'd been born, well then, who would you be? You might be a fish, or a toad in a tree. You might be a doorknob, or 3 baked potatoes. You might be a bag full of hard green tomatoes. Or worse than all that, you might be a wasn't. A wasn't has no fun at all. No, he doesn't. A wasn't just isn't. He just isn't present. But you are. You are you. And now isn't that pleasant? I'm lucky to be who I am. Thank goodness I'm not a clam or a ham or a dusty old jar of gooseberry jam. I am what I am. That's a great thing to be, if I say so myself. Happy birthday to me. You know, listeners, it is not true that people stop pursuing their dreams because they grow old. They grow old because they stop pursuing their dreams. They stop believing in how beautiful, how magnificent, and how powerful they truly are, no matter what their age. They stop believing that the magic in life comes from inside of us and that it can be accessed and put into effect at any age, at any time. Not only do I believe that growing old is not mandatory, but that those who hold on to experiencing life through the eyes of a child simply will not grow up. And this intangible magic inside of us is so easily seen in young children, for they allow themselves the freedom to be who they are, to be open and see the world through the eyes of enchantment and also wonder. They are fulfilled by living in the magic of the present moment with all of its richness and ripeness and fulfillment, and being connected to the world of imagination and the manifestation of dreams. And whether you are a Libran having a birthday or not, the Posse of Angels wants to share with us that this new month of October is going to bring in tangible change into our lives. It could be a change in our perceptions and our attitudes that anything and everything is possible. It could be a change in a desire or a dream that you wish to fulfill that perhaps previously you may not have even dared to think that this was possible. Maybe you're feeling the urge to create something very new. These internal feelings about change, well, they're perfectly timed because our first step now in creating our desired futures is to revel in the imagining, the feeling, the praying, and the dreaming. And the what we will be imagining will be very different for each one of us because so much of the world was just not ready to shift in the past. It might have seemed like a dream, a project, or an idea that we had and we were working on so diligently, it just wouldn't get off the ground. Many of us experienced a great deal of frustration, so just we abandoned those endeavors. But you know what now? The Posse of Angels want us to be very observant in the present magical moment as the heightened energies of the fifth dimensional energies, our heightened perceptions will now help us. And many of us will see the support and the recognition for our efforts. And when something comes into your awareness that makes you feel excited, makes you get all goosebumpy all over, then life is calling you to interact with it and take inspired action. For instance, I've been trying for years and years to hire an illustrator for my Angel Healing House tarot deck that I had created and designed, and to go with a tarot book that I had written. And all attempts in the past to hire an artist were absolutely futile. Now, in November 2017, I had a dear friend come over from the East Coast, and while she was here, we went out for drinks, and she invited two friends along who were both screenwriters. When my husband Pete found out that one of them was a comic book artist, a comic book writer, he asked him if he did the art for the comic books as well, and he said no. He found all of his artists on DeviantArt website. When I heard those words, DeviantArt, shivers went up and down my legs and my arms. When I got home, I went on the website. I found a remarkable artist. I immediately wrote her a proposal level letter for the card deck, addressing my specifications. She immediately wrote back. We formalized the details with our lawyer, and abracadabra, she signed the contract. We are now more than halfway through the Angel Healing House Extraordinary Tarot Deck, which should be out hopefully somewhere in 2019. This was so easy because I'd already prayed. I'd already cemented that intention in my heart. And now with those encouraging, supportive, and magical energies, all we need to do is step forward when we get excited and interact. The Posse of Angels is saying that for each of us, it's like We've spent years and years planning the most delicious meal that we could ever have imagined, and now it's going to be served up for us in limitless possibilities for us to enjoy. The Posse of Angels wish for us to remember that when you are making movement to that which excites you, you cannot make a mistake. I often say, working with God and the angels, when you get excited and step forward, it's like going bowling with bumpers. You cannot hit a gutter ball. So take some time this month to truly reflect on what you wish to change, those things that you wish you could change in the world, and then go through being excited, taking inspired action when you feel excited to do so, and then watch your world change around you. And you know, everyone, when I went to draw an animal card for an additional message, I wasn't at all surprised when who descended in but Spider to come in and share his sage wisdom with us. The spider is a remarkable figure of feminine energy and creativity. He is diligent and hardworking in weaving the threads of Dharma, which is the path in which we are heading towards our destiny. And while Dharma is one's duty, could call it a mission or a calling, karma is the actions performed to complete the duty. And while Spider's work is painstaking, it never tires, it never becomes impatient, because it knows that the creation of the web, that's the journey, is just as important as the destination or what gets caught in the web. The planning and the taking your time with heartfelt projects, well, that is the key to success. Haste, in this case, makes waste. Go slow and take measured action, waiting for just the right timing to present itself before you strike. You would not take a cake out of the oven early before it's baked because you're hungry, and you certainly wouldn't pull on the tops of the vegetables in the garden because you want them to grow quicker. Just like our patient spider, create your own web of things that you are passionate and excited, enthusiastic about, and then nurture and feed them with intention, with dreams, visualizing the most amazing and best outcome for them. Mr. Spider asks us, how strong is the web that we've established for our life? You know, if one of the threads in your web unravels, are the other threads strong enough to support your hopes and dreams? Just think about that. How much have you invested in your dreams? How much energy and focus have you put into something? Those laws of attraction are always in place. Cause and effect. We can't expect something to happen when we certainly haven't put the intention, the dreams, the hopes, our faith, our trust in the universe, and our energy into things. They don't just magically happen without first that desire of our intention, which is so very important. Spider energy is definitely a call to creatively weave and breathe new life into your ideas and your projects. And rather than being results oriented, Spider reminds us to be passionate and abundantly create, but not to create for an outcome or a result. Create for creation's sake, as a child would, and then wait on heaven's desires and designs for those projects to magically take flight and return abundance into your life. So thank you so much, Spider. Go off into your web and wait to see what gets caught in the web that you've created. You've been listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on the wonderful Angel Healing House radio program. Remember that Angel Healing House radio airs every week on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, on this lovely platform of Transformation Talk Radio. I will remind you that you can go on angelhealinghouse.com on my website to find out more information about my books, Angels of Faith, One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of me, Angel Ariel. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will take some calls for free angel readings. If you want a free angel reading, try to get on the phone line. That number is 1-800-930-2819. We'll take a quick break and come back soon.
To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com. Have you discovered the remarkable books at angelhealinghouse.com? Author Claire Candy Hough has channeled rare books of inspiration and insight.
Angels of Faith is an inspiring story of healing, comfort, and hope that reminds us that death is not to be feared, but embraced with joy.
One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness takes readers on a roller coaster ride through Angel Ariel's 5 most important lives on Earth, as well as her experiences in the afterlife, and helps us remember our own journey across the veil.
And Claire Candy's autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which details the 2003 soul exchange that took place when Claire Candy walked out of her body and Angel Ariel walked in, creating heaven on earth for herself and others.
To find out more about these wonderful books, visit angelhealinghouse.com today.
Hello, everyone. You're back with me, Claire Candy Hough, on the lovely Angel Healing House radio program. Remember that Angel Healing House airs every week on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have been speaking about birthdays today, as my birthday is coming up in 5 days' time on October the 7th, and I never equate my birthday with age. I equate it with the celebration of my divine eternal essence and the magic and the miracles that I get to create in the beautiful dance that I do with God and the angels every single day. And believe me, there is so much to celebrate when you look at your divine essence, much, much more than your physical birth date. Let's go to our callers. Our first caller we have is Georgette in California. Georgette, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough. How are you?
I'm well. So happy birthday, Libra.
Thank you very much. I call us airheads who have a hard time making up our mind, but we're very charming when we're doing it.
Yes. And usually you have an entourage around you who love you.
Regardless. So what's happening in your life, Georgette?
Oh, well, I just wanted to call in to Claire to not only say hi, but also I'm looking down the road for 2019 as we get closer and just wondering what you might pick up for me in terms of, doing my soul's purpose and or love.
Okay, all right. First of all, they want to address the soul's purpose. Your soul's purpose is to experience life and to grow, not to try to figure out. Where to slot that in. Lots of people, since my angelic walk-in experience over the last 15 years, have asked me, what is my soul's purpose? We should look at it more as what am I passionate about? Because I am passionate about writing. I'm passionate about speaking. I'm passionate about, being an alchemist, a metaphysician, a spiritual teacher. There's so many different areas, that I could plug this into. So it's more a case of rather than asking your soul's purpose, ask yourself, because you've changed so much, Georgette, not only in the last 20 years, not only in the last 10 years, in the last 6 months, there is so much change that has gone on with us that what we thought we would be doing has just fallen by the wayside or dried up, and that we are now stepping into creating our 2019, creating in every moment. So think to yourself, what excites me? What am I enthusiastic about? What am I passionate about? And what will stop you if you think, how am I going to make any money doing that? Or I'm never going to find a job that is going to, encapsulate all of that. All your job is, as pure energy, a divine energy of God's source, is to intend. That's why this exercise that I've given out countless times works incredibly well. You don't even have to know what that is, but you say, thank you. Thank you, God, for this extraordinary opportunity that has just been given to me. I get to be financially remunerated for my gifts and talents. I get to work with wonderful people in great locations or location. I get so excited about working as a team, bringing forth these creative ideas, and then that feeling that you get, and then the universe will plug you in. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because many people get caught up in that limitation of what is my soul's purpose, because there's not one. Because what's happening now, and the Posse of Angels want me to reiterate, is many of us that are conscious and enlightened and aware, we are stepping into the third part of our mission. And what does that mean? The first part of our mission was waking ourselves up and then getting as many people on board of the train of consciousness. That's when we became the healing practitioners, the Reiki masters, that's when we learned the modalities and set up those things to enlighten other people. Then 2012, 2013 was to turn the mirror back on ourselves and start creating the books, the radio programs, whatever that was in the last 8 years, and creating a divine alignment, working on ourselves rather than just teaching others, actually practically bring it home. And now we're going, the third part of our mission is with enthusiasm and passionately drawing those opportunities to ourselves. So the greatest thing that you can do is get very excited about those things that you passionately love and work towards creating different things, because people say, oh, I've noticed, you're an author and this and that. And I've thought about a book, but I don't know how to market it. I don't know how to distribute it. I don't know how to, and I don't want to be just like a starving writer. And it's, I said, you're worried about all of this stuff and planning your book tour when you haven't even written the book yet. So they want us to create. Do not stop yourself from creating. And you mentioned love as well. Our love and our careers and all areas of our life go hand in hand. So if you say thank you,
Absolutely.
thank you for my beloved, because if you say thank you, Georgette, he is there on the etheric plane. He's there. You feel him. Thank you. He's already mine. He's not in competition with anybody. I'm not in competition. He's not going to go with someone else. So thank you for this beloved. You know, when I did this 6 months before I drew my beautiful twin flame husband to myself, I wrote a decree. I said, thank you. We travel the world together. We support each other. We work, together. Nothing's more important than the relationship. We allow each other to be ourselves. We're each other's best friends. And then I write about how we met 6 months later as a come as your favorite rock star party. He went as Elvis. I went as Stevie Nicks. 5 days later, he asked to marry me. 2 months later, we were married on the beach in Australia. I mean, because of that intention, don't feel like you are wanting, or because if you want for something, if there's that neediness, it means that you don't have it. Keep affirming thank you for it and open yourself to receive that love. Let's go to the cards and see what comes out. So you are going to be open to receive, not only in your work, but in love as well. And I guarantee you that the more you do this, don't put how or when restrictions on when it's going to happen. But when it does happen, I want you to send me an email to Candy, Candy, at angelhealinghouse.com, or else call into the show and say you'll never believe what happened. 7 of Pentacles comes up for you. This is the card of planting seeds, and they want you to plant those seeds of intention. See yourself. When I did this, I saw myself walking hand in hand on the beach with, I didn't know it was Pete at the time, but, splashing in the water together, from here to eternity, rolling in the surf, or goodness knows what. I felt and I visualized this, and I brought it down into my heart. They want you to do this the same with your work and with love as well. Next card that's coming out for you is a proposal card. The page of cups. They want you to expect the unexpected. No more limitations, no more restrictions. You get to have what you desire because you're a child of God. It's as simple as that. And then the action card comes in, the Knight of Swords. You taking action upon what the universe will offer you. I hope that's been helpful for you, Georgette. It just means tweaking a little bit of your perception and your attitude, and man, you're going to be flying.
Thank you so very much. What a great reminder. And I definitely look forward to, I anticipate, and I'm curious as to how close it might be because I feel it. But that was, everything you said was, like I said, a reminder and validation at the same time. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so very welcome. And can I tell you that not only you and myself, my husband, Pete, he says, it's not like I have eczema or something. He says, I wake up every morning and it's like I'm itching. I'm on the horizon. Something is on the precipice for us as a consciousness, for us to step forward. So we're all feeling this, and it's such an excited energy. We've waited a long time for this, Georgette. Enjoy every single moment of it, and stay blessed. Take care.
Thank you. Same to you. Much love.
Bye-bye. Bye. And that was lovely. Thank you so, Georgette. There's so many lovely reminders in there for not only Georgette, but for all of us. All of us. We are on the precipice of that third mission of ours. Don't rush it. Enjoy and savor every single moment of it. Let's go to our next caller. We have Vanelle in Virginia. Hi, Vanelle. How are you?
In a way, I'm not too happy.
I'm sorry to hear that. What's going on in your life?
Last month, I lost one of my cats. I had 2 sister cats, and they were tortoiseshell cats, short hair, black and brown in color, and all of a sudden, one of the sisters, she got very sick, and I was really struggling to find a ride because I didn't have my own transportation, and this nice lady that lives around the corner from me took me, and so when I took her to this place, they x-rayed her and everything, and they discovered that her organs weren't where they should have been, and plus she had cancer also, and I didn't know that she was that ill. I had previously gotten them from another couple, and they seemed to be okay, but the doctor said that it looks like she might have been going through this issue for a long time, and
Yeah.
I was completely unaware. And so I'm wondering if you could know or find out how she's doing. Her name was Lulu.
So she's passed over, has she?
Well, she had to be put to sleep because
Yes. Okay.
her organs were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing that the Posse of Angels are showing me is this cat is smiling now, because when we cross over, and I speak about this in my book, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, when we cross over, all of our physical ailments disappear. They absolutely disappear. And we are healthy again. My dad passed away 2 years ago, and when he was out of he had a stroke, and then he went downhill, and had so many different ailments. When he was out of his body, he showed up to me like the Tasmanian devil. He was whirling around and so happy that he was out of his sick body. Your cat wants you to know that there is not one skerrick, one slice, one sliver of any illness in her body. But not only that, she is now gone back to being like a teenager cat or a young adult cat. Lots of vim, lots of vigor, lots of, vitality and energy. They're showing me she's standing on the Rainbow Bridge, which so many animals, when they cross over, they go over on the Rainbow Bridge, which is the connection. I'm just getting shivers all over, which is the connection between our pets and my Yorkshire Terrier, which I had as a young girl, or the former soul had. She always appears on that Rainbow Bridge for me. But she's saying that there was nothing that you could have done to prolong her life, and she exited exactly when she was supposed to. But the most important thing, Vanell, is they want you to know is that she is 100% healthy now. And because, we live on in our one true home behind that veil of forgetfulness. The only thing we don't take with us is our physicality and our material goods. The only thing we take with us is love. And she wants you to know how grateful and appreciative she was in the time that you had together. It gave you the opportunity to give of yourself and to give so much love, and it gave her the opportunity to receive the love and the healing that you gave her. Let's go to the cards and see what comes out. There's just so much love there, Vanell. Please don't be sad. Don't feel guilty, though. Don't be sad. There was nothing that you could have done to increase the lifespan of this cat. Okay, the first card that comes out for you is the Three of Cups. Now, that might sound funny, asking about the death of a cat, but this is the celebration card. She wants. What's the cat's name?
Lulu.
What's that?
Lulu. So Lulu.
Oh, Lulu. Okay, Lulu wants you to do a little bit of a ritual where you close your eyes, you imagine yourself on that rainbow bridge with Lulu, celebrating your relationship of love, because love never dies.
Mhm.
And just sit there holding her, visualize yourself holding her, and she's 100% healthy and physically fit, and just let that
Mhm.
beautiful love melt into your heart. So they really want you to celebrate that. It will. The next one is the Six of Swords. This is the things getting easier card. When you start to know that she is not dead, she's just not physically here, you can speak with her anytime you want, and you can be with her anytime you want, because that love reaches across dimensions. And then the next card that comes out is the Sun card. Oh my gosh, I love the Sun card. This is a radiant, positive, optimistic, bright, shining energy between you and Lulu. So I hope that's been helpful, sweetheart. Please, please, please know and do not feel guilty. She thanks you and is so grateful and appreciative of all the help and the love that you gave her. So take care, Vanelle.
Mhm. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye. Let's go to our next caller. We have Beth in California. Beth, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough. How are you? Hello, Beth, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, how are
Happy
you?
birthday to us. Good, how are you? Happy birthday to us.
Yes, we do love our birthdays. So what's happening in your life?
Just celebrating birthdays and having a great week for my birthday and my bestie's birthday, and just having a great time, and just wanted to know what Spirit has in store and what the message Spirit wants for us for this week.
Okay, let's give the cards a shuffle. Oh, they're saying that so much. They're showing like things being not only revealed, but like softly, like curtains being drawn open. They said a lot of areas up until now, uh, you weren't able to really see and to step forward with things. But they're saying from now on, things will be revealed to you, and that you'll be able to, in many ways, take advantage of them. Whereas before, there might have been too much of an attitude of not limitation, but it may be an attitude of restriction. I guess what they're really saying is that you're more open to just allow yourself to be led. But I did draw a card from my Oracle of E deck, and it's the number 22. And this says, you said you were enjoying a week. A week celebration for your birthday. This card is actually time out, and it says, "See that there, it's yours and yours alone, and it's time to claim that special place. It doesn't matter what's going on out there. It doesn't matter what others are saying. Everything except your own blessed joy is now history. Stake your claim, take a break, because it's smooth sailing for you now." So isn't that lovely? That's a lovely, lovely message. It's just enjoy the time out, because things will get much busier later. They're saying there's going to be a lot more family involvement and family commitments, and they're saying that your help will be needed
Yay.
in those areas. The first card that's coming out for you is the Star card. This is the Star card of hope, but it's also about the Star card to do with your dreams coming true. So they're saying perhaps with so much changing to reassess your dreams and see what is most important for you now. I love when the Star card comes out. The next card is the Emperor card. This is the card of owning who you are, owning who you authentically are. You will be giving help to family and friends, but you will not do this at the diminishment of your own energy. And you know now how to set those boundaries. But they're saying do not discount that there will be a new beginning with this Ace of Wands in your career, business, or an opportunity. And they said it has to do with writing. They said it has to do with writing and the projects and the endeavors around that. So it's really quite a creative time coming up for you, Beth. And just enjoy this time out because it's like a precursor to a very busy time coming up. So I hope that's been helpful.
Oh, that's been wonderful. Thank you. It just adds more excitement to this fun adventure that I'm on.
Absolutely. So take care. God bless you.
Thank you so much, love, and happy birthday, Angel.
Thank you. Bye. Let's go to our next caller. Stephanie in New York, you're on the line with Angel Healing House Radio. How are you?
Hi. Thank you. I know you don't have much time, so happy birthday. And I had some questions about pregnancy.
Okay.
So I tried a few times in September, recently, and it didn't work.
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out if I just need to kind of give it a little more time, although I don't have a lot of time because it would be a way to heal my current health issues. And if I don't get pregnant, then that could get worse. Or if I need to look at like IVF or acupuncture or supplements, or there's this doctor that works with bacterial stuff. And I'm just, especially because most of those things cost a lot of money. I don't want to waste money that I don't really have. Okay. So I was wondering what they had to say.
Okay. First of all, they're saying that, that you're putting too much pressure on yourself. That's number one. And that you have all the time in the world. Take your emphasis off on what is supposed to happen or what should happen. Just allow yourself to receive, because you have to be able to receive that seed in order for pregnancy to happen. And when you're pushing for an agenda, then you're, in fact, closing the door. That's what you're doing. You're putting the cart before the horse, and you're doing it also not so much for the procreation of a child, but you're doing it for an outcome, which is in itself, discounts that love, that beautiful bondedness, and in the fifth dimension energies we find ourselves in, we can't do anything with like a backdoor, way of doing things or coming from a different way. We have to be authentic and honest. So they really want you to not worry about any of those things right now. You're putting yourself in the future when the future is established by what you're doing in the present moment. They want you to take all the emphasis off of anything else but this beautiful soul who you have a chance to give life to, but it can only happen when you take your emphasis off of doing it for another reason rather than procreation and bringing a beautiful soul in. Let's go to the cards. I have about 3 minutes left. 1, 2, 3. Okay, first card that's coming out for you is the Two of Swords. This is great. This is being at peace, absolute peace. You have to find peace and serenity in your heart, that you will bring forth this soul with love, with care, with compassion, with no other agenda. That's often the stasis, the peace card. This is the card of the death card is a new beginning. So that all bodes well if you are open to receive in the most pure ways that's the way this does have the best chance of happening. And then you become the magician, which is the alchemist card. So I hope that's been helpful for you, Stephanie. Really, if I can give you a word of advice, please do open up and receive in the most miraculous of ways.
Thank you. And
you're very welcome.
I heard Two of Swords. And then you mentioned Magician. Was that the second card, or that just...
it was the Two of Swords, the Death card, and then the Magician. So I'm wishing you a beautiful week.
Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. You too. Happy early birthday.
Thank you, sweetie. Take care. Bye-bye. And that wraps up our show for today. Thank you to all my callers. Thank you to everyone who's recommended, referred, and liked the show. Remember that it airs every week at Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on Transformation Talk Radio. And remember to go out and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. Love, and as always, angel blessings. Take care. Bye.